Hello guys, how you all doing? The Creative Gamer here with the first video on my channel, Gnomoria. Now, I'm gonna delete all my games so far. Don't worry about it, it's fine. I haven't played this game in months, so I'm not really losing anything. And also, for the purpose of this tutorial, I'm going to be playing on peaceful because I have an idea on what to actually build as well, which I'll get to in a little bit. The creative kingdom. Right, so we want to go into advanced settings and we want to make it peaceful. We want the metal depth to be shallow and we want the amount to be abundant. Now, if you do want to follow along with me, bit by bit, word for word, detail for detail, then please use the same seed and the same kingdom center as myself. I mean, there is no like you must do it, do what you like. So yeah, but I will be talking as if you've chosen exactly the same world as me. So, but as I said, otherwise don't worry about it, and we're going to be doing it on a large world. Now I'm going to start generating it and I'll pause it and then I'll be back once the world is loaded, because it takes about 10 minutes. See you in a second. Hello guys and welcome back. So the game's loaded and as you can see, it's a completely flat world with just the way I like it. Oh, there's a nice cavern down there. Do I want to do that or build my own? Decisions. Right, so you load into the game and you start on pause, which is always a good thing. In my mind, that is so you can see the best place to settle, and aha! There's the best place so far. Right, so before I start playing the game, I'll explain a few things to you. First of all, the most important, the reason why I do not have an action bar down at the bottom of the screen is because I don't like it. I rather use the right click menu. So if you want to, you don't have to. But if you want to follow along with me word for word, then have your nourishment weight at 31 and uncheck show action bar. Click apply and then you're done. Right, next I'm going to import my own professions. You will not have this unless you download it yourself or whatever. So basically, what I've done here, and it is still available on the Gnomoria's forum, is a thread called Caldric or Caldaric's Handy Tips. And pardon me, in that thread, or a related thread, it's been about a year or more, so I can't remember, but in that thread or a related thread, on the third or fourth paragraph down, you will find his professions.ini list. All you have to do is copy and paste that into Notepad and then create your own profession.ini file in your Gnomoria folder. Please check the forum on how to do this if you want to do it. So I just click that and click import and we're done. Right, so now the kingdom tab shows you the name, the seed, the difficulty, the population, the total worth, the stock worth, etc, etc. How many farms, pastures and rooms you have. Stocks tells you exactly that. What items you have in your kingdom, your stockpiles and how much, etc, etc. Your population will tell you the overview, like how many miners you've got currently, etc, etc. You can assign certain gnomes to certain jobs. Now this is where it's important for me personally anyway. So you go to the professions tab, and every single profession, with builder being the last one you do it to, you want everything down to agriculture. Engineer doesn't matter at this point, with an X on it, making it mean that it's fully checked. So woodcutter's going to be the same. Farmer. And I'll explain why I'm doing this in a minute. Rancher. Oops. And then builder. Right, so the reason why I've done that is because it will make the game run a lot smoother and faster at the start of the game. Everyone will be a farmer, everyone will be a builder, everyone will be a carpenter, etc, etc. Now the next tab along, deceased, will tell you if any gnomes are dead and how many. Military we don't need to worry about on this tutorial, but it will help you organise and view your squads. Events basically does what it says on the tin, and help, if you want to explore this in your own time, will tell you almost every single thing there is to know in the game. It's just tips, it doesn't say so this does this and that does that. Not exactly, no. Right, so there's my gnomes there. So we're going to use this area here for our farms. So remember I told you about the right click menu. Right click on your mouse, and then you want to go into agriculture, and you want a pasture. Now you want the pasture to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 by 6 to start with. You can make it bigger later on, and you want to house your yaks there, and you want to make it priority 1. Now next to the pasture, or near the pasture, you want to make a farm, also a 6 by 6, and that's going to have wheat in it for the yaks. Now that's also going to be a priority 1. Now next to or near the wheat farm, we're going to have another 6 by 6. Whoops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, let's do it here then. 6 by 6. And we'll make this one the strawberry farm, and we'll make that priority 2. Notice I'm doing all this while the game is paused. Right, so after we've done that, let's decide where we want to start building our fort. So if I cut down this forest here, that's going to be the beginnings of my fort. Yes, I haven't forgotten about what I'm going to do, and I'll explain that after I've done this. So with the right click menu again, you want to go into the terrain menu, then dig, and then stairs down. Now you want to have it 2 stairs next to each other, and you want to carry on doing it like this until -6. Oops. Five, 6. There we go. So that the final staircase is on depth 7. Then you want to go back into the terrain menu and then mine wall. And then you want to do that there. About that size. You can do it slightly smaller if you want. Doesn't matter at this point. So this is ground 0. So on -1, we want to have a corridor, going off this way. No, this way, I think. And this way. There we go. Now we want our stockpile here. Oh, too big. Let's have it there. And there. Now remember, you can always extend things later on. So that's going to be our stockpile. This is going to be our workshop area. Or is it going to be the other way around? I wonder. So let's go all the way over there. And yes, to get rid of something like that, you want to go into job, cancel, and then just make the row where, oops, wrong row, you want to get rid of. There we go. Easy, easy, easy. So let me see. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Now what we want to do, still in the pause mode, is we want to agriculture, forage. Now we want to forage all these orange trees. Not all of them, but a lot of them, so that we can get some food. And we want to go into agriculture, and we want to cut clippings, and we want to grab a load of birch, whichever tree you prefer building out of, really, it doesn't really matter. You can build out of any tree, by the way. So now we want to find some more fruit trees. Any fruit tree will do, whether they're apple, oranges or whatever. It doesn't matter. It's still food. And so we want to cut clippings on those as well. And then we want to look for a little bit more fruit trees. So these ones over here will do nicely. And these ones here. That should be enough. So now what we want to do is we want to unpause it with the spacebar or clicking the play button. So the game will save, and then once it's saved, it's still paused. So what you want to do is you want to click play again, and you can see all your gnomes going about their business, which you've set them to do. Now, if you wanted the game to go faster, if you're waiting for something to be done, then you've got double speed, which makes them faster, and the other speed, which is not recommended unless you know your PC can handle it, is quadruple speed. Right, let's see how they're getting on. Awesome. And there's our stone. Yay. Right, so what we want to do now is we want to agriculture, fell trees, and just grab a handful. You don't need to go crazy. That will be enough. Right, so our stockpile's been mined out, so we want to go into that, pause the game, and what we want to do now is terrain, mine, wool, and anywhere it doesn't matter, I'm going to do it here. You generally want to do a 5x5 or a 6x6. There we go, and you'll see why I'm doing that in a minute. Oops, I forgot to build their beds. So to do that, we go into the build menu, furniture, straw beds. Now we only want to build 6 beds currently because this is coming out of the yaks stockpile. There we go. So are you going to do that first? Yes, you are. Good. Right, so we want to get rid of that wall. One of them, anyway. There we go. And we want to break through here as well. Whoops. There we go. Right, now this square's mined out. We want to designate area, stockpile, put it here, 5x5. Now we want to click the plus next to the goods, and we only want to highlight the soil and check it. There we go. Now we want to build another stockpile here. There we go. Ooh. Right, F to get rid of the walls so you can see what you're doing better. There we go. Now you want to click goods there, and you want to get rid of the soil. There we go. Right, bring the walls back and mine this last bit here. There we go. They'll be clearing the soil, so they'll do that. And what we want to do now, yep, good. What we want to do now is go into the build menu, workshop, crude workbench, build. And we want to put that anywhere we want, but near a wall. Pardon me. There we go, someone will be along to build that. Now we want to go back into the build menu, workshop, stone, and stone cutter. There we go. And someone will be along to build that any minute, so we want to give it a head start because the crude workbench is a bit bugged for some reason. There we go. Now, the most important thing in the game, or the most important things, are your food and drink stockpiles. So watch out for them because your gnomes will die of starvation and thirst. And on the right hand side you got your date and time. So there's not enough beds for everyone, as I said a minute ago. So some will sleep on the floor. That's not always a bad thing. But they'll just, you know, they won't get as much energy back as they would if they were sleeping in a straw bed. And the same will go as a bed compared to a straw bed as well. And once they've done all the fruit trees, I'll show you how to build your own groves also. Right, and for a moment I'm going to pause the game, or the recording, until the stone cutter's built. So I'll see you guys in a minute. Right, hello again guys. So our stone cutter has been built, so we want to go back into the build menu, workshop, stonemason. Let them build that, and the game will save every 3 days, by the way. There we go. Right, so again I'll pause the game until that's been done, or the recording even. Oh yeah, sorry, one thing I forgot to do is go into the build menu, go to storage, go to crate, because you always get free storage when you start a new game. So you want to create the 3 crates anywhere within the stockpile, and do that with all of them. So you've got your barrels, 2 barrels, and you've got 2 bags as well. There we go. Right, now our stonemason has been built and our stone cutter, we want to go back into the build menu, workshop, food and drink, and we want to build a well now because we're running out of water and drink. So we now want to find the closest water source to our gnomes, which would be here. Now, so just highlight over the river or pond until it goes green, and they'll start building the well when somebody's available to do so. There we go. Right, so that's been done. Good. So I've just cleared this little patch here because this is where I'm going to be building my groves. So what we want to do now is we want to get rid of all the clay patches in this area, because nothing can grow on top of clay. So we want to go to the terrain, replace floor, and when it's on the soil you want to click the drop down arrow and you want dirt clump. There we go. So we just highlight the brown patches. That sounded ominous. The brown patches. There we go, let them do that. Now we also want to go into the build menu. Ooh, workshop, wood. Now we want to build the carpenter. There we go. Right, so all these will start growing over with grass when the sun comes out. Nothing grows during the night. Yeah, sorry about the noise, guys. I do have my door open, so nice and hot today, for once. Right, so this is, oops, where I'm going to be building my fort, so I'm clearing the space here. There you see it's growing over in grass. There we go. So we want to pause that. We want to go into the agriculture, grove, and you generally want a 10 by 10 or an 11 by 10. So it's up to you which one you decide on. Don't forget you can always extend it later on as well. There we go. Now we want to do birch, and as we're going to be chopping down the birch and then replanting them, we want it to be plant saplings, cut saplings and fell trees. So we want to get rid of the fruit because it doesn't have any fruit. So we want that to be a priority 3 and suspended at the moment. Now we want another 10 by 10 or 11 by 10. Let's do 10 by 10. And we want it to be orange, or whichever fruit you decided you liked the looks of. Now we want to plant the saplings and pick the fruit. So that's all we want to do there. Priority 3 again, and suspend it for now. There we go. Right, just gotta wait for them to build the carpenter now. Right, now because this area has been completely harvested, what we want to do now is unsuspend the orange grove. There we go. Right, so they've almost finished with the orange grove now. What we want to do is we want to unsuspend the birch grove. Now, one other thing to notice is your seasons. Now, with every season, you will have 12 days. So 12 of spring, summer, fall and winter. Now your growing seasons are from spring to winter, so nothing will grow for the winter month. Okay, so everything will grow from spring until the end of fall. Let's see if he's almost done with the carpenter. And then we can think about building the sawmill. So they've built the well now. There we go. go. Now we want to go back into the workshop menu, wood, sawmill. There we go. And once the sawmill has been built, we can get rid of the crude workshop. Right, so I'm going to pause the recording again. Right, now that all our workshops that we need currently have been built, we now want to go to deconstruct and click on the crude workbench. There we go. And in its place, we want to go to workshop, food and drink, distillery, and build one here. There we go. I'll see you guys again in a second. Right, now our distillery. Whoops, I'll explain quickly about the nomads arriving. We've got 4 now. So nomads are literally what it says without the G, obviously. Someone's decided they like the look of our kingdom and profits and has decided to move in. So we've got 4 new mouths to feed, so we want to go to build furniture, straw bed. There we go. As you can see, I've extended my farms a bit now, and we want to do 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. Now we want to go to the population window, assign. So find the nomads and make them a farmer, a rancher, a builder, and I'll say another farmer. It doesn't matter what we make them, because as you know, from miner to builder, they're doing everything. So there we go. Right, how much further? Oh yes, and the distillery. I was going to show you what to do with that. Right, so what we want to do is we want to right click on the distillery and we want to click craft wine and repeat. There we go. Now we want another distillery, so workshop, food and drink. Where are you? There you are. Oh, come on. And build another distillery here. There we go. And this is now the end of the video. And if you want to join me in the next episode, I will show you how to build your fort or castle. So, thank you for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please do not forget to like, comment and subscribe. And I'll see you very soon, guys. Take care. Goodbye.